Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and the email says, Dear Mr. Locario, I often sit across or next to a hot chick in the train or bus, but I don't really know how to approach her. You always say to keep conversations short, but to me it feels awkward to talk to her for 2 minutes and then remain silent to each other for the rest of the ride. I've tried talking to these chicks for the whole ride, but it's hard to keep the conversation going for so long, and often in the end, the chick is only a flake. Do you have some tips on how to handle this type of environment? All right, so basically, when I talk about, talking to a chick for like 2 minutes or whatever, it's really when you are outside, when you're approaching a girl outside or you're at an event somewhere or whatever, where you actually are in a situation where you can, talk to her and then literally leave the situation at that time. But the difference with this is, since you are in a bus or train, in a situation where you guys are going to be there for a while and you're going to be together for a while, you don't necessarily have to only keep it at 2 minutes or keep it short because you're going to be there with the chick, right? So the thing is, there's a couple things you could do if you're on a bus or you're on a train, and this is actually a good question, because you'll have situations like this where you're on a bus, you're on a train, and you're on, you see a girl, and you're going to be there for an extended period of time. She might be there for an extended period of time. You don't know how long she's going to be there, all this other stuff, right? So the thing is, when you are talking to a chick on a bus or a train, right? Let's say there's a girl sitting next to you or a girl across from you, and you want to strike up a conversation, right? The first thing you should do is find out when she's getting off the train, right? So, and you talk to her, like, you say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Like, you can have a little small talk, but at some point you got to really say, oh, hey, what stop are you getting off? You understand? Because you need to know if she's getting off in 2 stops or 10 stops. You understand what I'm saying? Because then that will give you the indicator of how much time you have to sort of close the deal. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you gotta find out, when she's getting off. You understand? And this also, if you're familiar with your train route or your bus route, and she says, hey, I'm getting off at this street or this avenue, you would say to yourself, oh, okay, I know that's in probably 6 stops or 5 stops or whatever it is, right? So then you already know the amount of time that you have to talk to her, right? Now, the thing is, when you're talking to her, it's basically, I always say this, is that you have to brush up on your conversation skills, because when you're in those situations where you're actually going to keep a conversation going, you have to know how to have a conversation. You have to know how to converse, right? And this is why I tell you guys to go on my bad boy membership program, because I have a 45-minute audio program called How to Attract Women Using Your Conversation Skills. You understand? And in that, I'm talking about how to keep the conversation going. So I can just give you a little tip, and also talk about this in my audio program, Master Approaching Women in 30 Days or Less. So make sure you guys get that at MrLocario.com. I talk about that in that too. Where I'm saying is, when you're keeping a conversation going, a simple way is to ask her questions and then take what she's saying from those her answers to start new questions and new dialogue. So, for example, if you say, hey, do you live in this area? And let's say she's like, oh, no, I actually live, in, Park Slope somewhere in such and such street, right? So let's say she says she lives on Church Street, and you're like, oh, cool. So how long have you been living on Church Street? So you're taking what she's saying, the word Church Street, or the street, and then you're starting a whole nother, thread of the conversation. And that's how you keep it going. So whatever she say, you just flip it and then keep the conversation going, right? So if you know that she's going to get off in like 4 or 5 stops, you can keep the conversation going, up until that stop is going to come. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, what you want to do is that when, the goal here is really to close the deal, to get her number, to exchange numbers, to make this stuff happen, right? So if you know what stop she's getting off, it's best to do that around the time where, the stop before she's going to get off. So let's say she's going to get off in 4 stops. So the first stop comes, second stop comes, third stop comes, and then she's getting off at the 4th stop, right? Once you get to the 3rd stop, and the 4th stop's coming up, that's when you say, hey, listen, we should get together sometime. Let's get a drink. Give me a number. Here's my number. And then close the deal. And then, right before she gets off the train, right? The thing is, or the bus or whatever it is. The thing is that you don't want to necessarily close the deal too early. So let's say a chick is getting off in 10 stops and you're basically getting the number or saying, hey, give me the number on the second or third stop. Because what happens is that if you if you keep, you're going to keep talking, you're going to keep having these conversations, and you might say something or do something or display something, in that situation that might make her not want to return your call when you hit her up. You understand? So the thing is, it's best to say it at the end, because at the end, she's deciding the whole time when you guys are talking or whatever, she's deciding if she wants to exchange numbers with you already. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes the chick already knows that she wants to do it, and sometimes she's sort of on the fence, and then so by you saying something ridiculous or crazy or something that'll turn her off will make her not want to, you understand, like give you the number. So it's always best to do it at the end, because the end, or I should say the second stop before she's going to get off, right, is because, by then, she's made that decision already. You understand what I'm saying? Because, she'll either say yes or she'll say no. You understand? Or she'll say, oh, I got a boyfriend, or no, I'm not really, you know what I'm saying? Like that can go on. But what I'm saying is it's best to close the deal by the end of, when she's about to get off. You understand? Because you can still do it earlier and everything could turn out fine. But the thing is, I think it's really best to, close it off at the end when everything is done. So like she's gone, it gives her time to think about, you and all the stuff that y'all were talking about and all this other stuff. And then, you hit her up and y'all make something happen, right? Now, what happens now if you're on a train or a bus and you're trying to talk to this hot chick and she's sort of not giving you any feedback. She's not giving you any attention. She's kind of ignoring you, or she's giving you one word answers. You can tell she's not really feeling it, right? So what do you do then, right? Because you might say, oh, it's going to feel awkward that I'm talking to this girl or I'm sitting next to her on a bus or on a train and I'm trying to talk to her, and then she's sort of like, rejecting me, and then, I'm just going to sit there. Like, what do I do, right? So basically, if you're talking to a girl and you're on a train, on a bus, and y'all are, having that ride together, whatever, and she's not really reciprocating, she's, being standoffish, she's giving you one word answers, right? You just simply stop talking to her, right? You don't got to feel a certain way. You don't have to move. You don't have to try to keep the conversation going. No, if she's not feeling it, just don't bother talking to her anymore. You understand? A lot of times, and I said this before in another video, a lot of times, a lot of you guys are too worried about how you look, about looking cool and smooth all the time, and you don't want to get rejected so bad that you try to keep things going, or you try to make something happen that's not really there. Something you're trying to create something so that you don't get, that rejection or that brush off or whatever. But it is what it is. You understand? So you could just stop talking to her. I remember I was on the train one time, and I'm sitting next to this girl, and I start talking to her, and she's sort of like giving me the one word answers and not really looking at me and stuff. So, I just sat there, started playing my one of those, like, those apps, those video game apps on my phone, and just was chilling. You understand? Just ignoring her like I haven't even talked to her at all. You understand? It's nothing. You understand? So don't feel like, you have to talk to her. You could just stop talking. You understand what I'm saying? And then keep the ride going, right? So you don't really need to worry about that. So if you're trying to holler at her and she's on some ignoring shit or whatever, just stop talking, put your headphones back in, listen to your music, do whatever you're doing, and just call it a day. Or, talk to somebody else that's next to you. Like I remember I did that one time where I'm talking to this girl and she's, giving me the standoffish thing, and then we got to this one stop, and then another girl comes into the train. So I turn and she sits next to me on the other side of me, and I start talking to her. Right. And then me and her having a conversation. Everything's cool. And the funny part is, of course, the other girl who wasn't trying to talk to me is all up in our business. You understand? Like looking at us talking and all this shit. You feel me? But, it is what it is. Right. And one last thing I could tell you that works sometimes is and one of my boys hit me to this, and I thought this was brilliant. Sometimes you'll be on a train or a bus, and a girl might have her headphones in, right? And I've done this a couple times, and it works great, where if you have an iPhone or your phone or whatever, and they have this thing on there called like a notepad or notes, something you could write notes on. And so what I do is I open my notepad and I actually have it saved in my notepad. But what I write is I write, "You're cute," and then I write, "What's your name?" on the notepad, right? And then what I do is, when I see a girl on a train or on a bus with her headphones in or whatever like that, when she's, in her zone, listening to music, whatever it is, I write this on my notepad. I say, "You're cute. What's your name?" And then I pass my phone to her to let her read it, right? So then she reads it, and usually 9 times out of 10, the girl laughs, and then she takes her headphones out, and then, we start having a conversation. You understand? So you can do that too if you're on the train and you see a chick, she got her headphones in, and, and all that other stuff, right? So, but basically, what you really want to do is just, learn how to keep the conversation going. So if you're riding with the girl and you're actually going back and forth and talking, and if she's actually is talking to you, there is a chance that she could be feeling you. The thing is, some girls will just talk to you because they're on the ride and you're talking to them, right? But it's good to learn how to keep a conversation going, because that right there will can lead you into closing the deal and making that thing happen. You understand? And again, ask her when she's getting off, so you know how much time you have, right? And again, if a woman is not, feeling you, or she's not really having a conversation with you, she's giving you one word answer, she's ignoring you, just ignore her. Be like, okay, whatever. And then just, go back to doing what you're doing. Just go back, sit there, chill, and wait for your stop and get off. You understand? Like, that's really it. Or just talk to other girls that come on the train, right? So that's pretty much it, guys. And remember, go to badboymembership.com and get my audio program, How to Attract Women Using Your Conversation Skills. You can get that today. Go to badboymembership.com. You can get that audio plus other audios on there that will help you step up your game. And also get my audio program, Master Approaching Women in 30 Days or Less, because I also talk about that a little bit in there. And you can get that at mrlocario.com. And it's only $7. $7. That's it. That's my cheapest product. $7. Go get that right now. Go to mrlocario.com and get that audio program. All right. So I'm out of here. If you have any questions, click the link below and I'll talk to you later. I'm out of here. The truth is inside you. Peace. All right, now before you click off this video, I need you to do 3 quick things. First, I need you to click the link below to send me your questions, because if you have any questions, I'll answer them in a video. 2, click the link under that to get my free ebook, The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. It gives you 10 tips on how to attract beautiful women. And number 3, I want you to click the link under that to go to badboymembership.com, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video tutorials every month. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.